Evacuations step up in Afghanistan. Meanwhile here, the Foreign Secretary has responded to criticism of him. We'll have the very latest also on the programme.
The Lunchtime News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good afternoon. The rush to get people out of Afghanistan continues 5 days after the fall of Kabul. In the last 24 hours, the RAF has evacuated almost 1,000 people. But the chaotic scenes outside the airport show how many more are still trying to flee. Well, here in the last hour, the Foreign Secretary has responded to criticism. He delegated a call to a junior minister. After it emerged the call was never made, he says it would have made no difference as the situation deteriorated rapidly. Our political reporter Shihab Khan reports. Well, CNN's Clarissa Ward has made that difficult journey to Kabul airport. From there, she sent this update. CNN's Clarissa Ward reporting from Kabul. Well, here charities have been flooded with donations to help families who have been evacuated to the UK. Little Cherubs, based in the Peak District, were asked to provide clothes for 64 families. Since then, they've been overwhelmed by the generosity of people who want to help. Jill Mears from the charity. Well, for all the latest developments on the ongoing situation in Afghanistan, head over to our website, itv.com/news. On to other news now. A terror attack on a street in South London may have been prevented, an inquest jury has found. Sudesh Aman stabbed 2 people before being shot dead by police last February. He'd only been released from prison the week before and was under surveillance. Well, the jury found he was lawfully killed. John Ray reports. Still to come, life. But first, in the last hour, the latest COVID-19 infection figures have been released. They show cases have continued to decrease. Our science editor, Tom Clark, is here. Tom, on the face of it, this...
About 1 in 2,200 people were infected. Today,
why is that then?
Well, the only clear explanation, I think, it's the Delta variant.
Thank you. Some other news, and the young Afghan refugee who fell from a hotel window in Sheffield has been named. Next is Lunchtime. After having a mastectomy during treatment for breast cancer, my next guest found she couldn't find underwear that fitted her. Well, determined. And finally, since Ed Sheeran last released a solo album, a lot has changed in his life. He got married, he became a dad, and he lost a close friend too. Now, 4 years after his last album, Divide, he's announced Equals will be his next, released in October. He said he's never been more proud of his music. Charanpreet Kara reports. October. That is it this lunchtime. I'll be here with the evening news at 6:30. The news for you follows the national weather. But for now, from everyone here on the Lunchtime team, bye-bye. Hello again. Now the main stories in London. The Metropolitan Police have set out their plans to police Extinction Rebellion protests in the capital over the next 2 weeks. Unions are meeting with Transport for London today in a bid to avoid 2 threatened strikes on the Underground next week. There's been a 55% increase in hospitality jobs available in London since pre-pandemic levels, according to a job website Indeed. It's leading to football, and Spurs made history last night by selecting the first ever identical twins from men's first team squad. All right, time for the weather now. Here's Aisling. OK, let's take a look at what's coming up on tonight's programme. It's good, that's it. Duncan is back here at 6. Until then, enjoy your afternoon. Bye-bye.